Hi guys, it's Sweety Pie and welcome back to my channel. Oh, nice. The fake tan truth is on my arms. The actual arm looks great though, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm still learning every day with this fake tanning stuff. Anyway, today we are doing my eyeshadow palette collection / maybe some decluttering. We will see. I'm not sure yet. But regardless, we're doing the 2020 eyeshadow palette collection. Right now, there is only 4 months left in the year, and everyone knows how much I like to procrastinate. So we're gonna get on with it right now. This is going to be a long video. I know this for sure. I have an hour on my camera right now, and I guarantee you I probably will go over that hour, but I'm gonna try not to. Anyway, I hope this lighting is beautiful for the palettes because I wanted you guys to be able to see them well. And yeah, excuse my false tan. I tried to be cute with the nails though. I used the multi-chrome flakies. Can you guys see that? Not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's get into it. Okay, so in random order, just to let you know, these literally are just scattered all around me. And then I have 3 drawers. One that has mostly my drugstore stuff. Oh my gosh, continue. Random order. Solar Flare palette. Oh. Gosh, this is a pretty palette. It is all shimmers. It is from BH Cosmetics. I do like the quality of their baked eyeshadows. Like, let me try and get my, look at how pretty that is. Like, it is so, so pretty. So yeah, and like they have this duochrome. If you can still get this, this is actually not a bad shimmer palette. Yeah, now you guys realize why I put that there. So yeah, I'm keeping that one. Next, I actually just got this one not long ago, like maybe not even a month ago, the the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. And I think this is a pretty popular palette, so most people know it and have seen it before. Ooh, actually, ooh, these ones are a little bit more, like they come off a little bit more, which is actually better because the pigment's a little bit more, like you don't have to build it up quite as much. But yeah, like these shadows work really nicely. Oh, Sagittarius. So pretty. I am Scorpio. I shouldn't be swatching, but yes, BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. Oh, that is a face palette. Then I have the Jaclyn Hill. This is the volume 2 from Morphe. And this is super pretty as well. I really don't have a lot of problems with the Morphe formula per se. Some of their mattes can be a little bit hit or miss. And honestly, the shimmers that they do with Jaclyn Hill, I actually think that they're prettier than the ones they do in their regular palettes. Like this one right here, Empowered. I am a sucker for these shades. I really am. Anyway, nice palette. Keeping that one. This one is the 3502. You know what? I lusted after this palette for so long. And honestly, I never use this. Never. Like, and it was all for these 2 shades here. This like red shimmer and this red matte. Which they're all right, but like, oh my gosh, there are so many like similar shades in this palette. I want to keep it, but oh my gosh, this is like, this was kind of odd purchasing. All right, and next we have a Juvia's Place palette, which there are a ton of them kicking around. This is the Nubian 2, and like, come on, everybody's seen this. So many people love Juvia's Place. And I don't really get a lot of use out of this one, to be honest. That is really pretty though. Then we have the Jawbreaker by Doucher. He's such a troublemaker. Beautiful mattes, honestly. His formula's alright. Ooh, that shimmer is so pretty, but I'm not like huge on his shimmer formula, to be honest. That one is really pretty though. This is the only product I have from him, and you know, it is what it is. Ooh, one of my favorite Juvia's Place palettes. This is the Magic palette by Juvia's Place. Oh, I so have something in my eye. Probably eyeshadow for at this point. I remember this was the very first Juvia's Place palette I ever got, and this shade came broken, and I just put it back together, and like their shimmers are so beautiful. Once in a while I'll have a little bit of blending problems with some of their darker mattes, like these two down here. Sometimes they can give me a hard time, but like so pretty. So pretty, and their shimmers are so pigmented and pretty. I love Juvia's Place. It's a really beautiful, they like the way they create their palettes is also in the way that people love them so much, is they're just so like they throw in a little bit of difference, and people love that, and they're pigmented as hell, honestly. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills like pro palette, essentially. Ooh, with nails. This is easier to do. So yes, this is what that looks like, and this is like 6 of my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. There is Modern Renaissance, Norvina, a bunch of different ones in here. And I love this actually, because I really like their eyeshadow formula. Like even Subculture, like, oh god, like you do have to be careful, but I like, oh, some of their shimmers are just insanely beautiful. Anyway, I gotta make space. Okay, so this is some stuff that's actually in my Shop My stash right now, and I just grabbed it out so I wouldn't forget it. And it's these two Smashbox palettes. Oh, this is funny. There we go. So this is the Ablaze palette. You know what? I think I'm going to give this away. And then you have a much cooler one, which is this one. And this one is Sultry Eye Palette. I think I'm going to give both of these away, honestly. You know what? The eyeshadows aren't all that bad. It's just I have so many like color stories that I like better than these. These eyeshadows just, they're kind of dull looking. I'm trying to get into this one again so I can see it. They're just kind of dull looking. I don't know. I'm not into it. I'm just not into it. I'm into a more dramatic kind of eyeshadow look. Everybody knows that. So yeah, I'm getting first ones to get rid of. I told you I wouldn't be getting rid of that many. Okay, and then I also have the Pastel Goth by, this was Kat Von D Beauty when this released. Great mattes, great palette. Like, I definitely am keeping this one. Ooh, Drugstore, Essence I'm With The Band. You know what? The looks that I've created with this, again, they're always pretty good. I'm gonna keep it because actually, like, this is like the first time that I liked the Essence eyeshadows. I don't know. We're gonna keep it for a bit, and it's in Shop My Stash, so if I do end up getting rid of it, I want to be able to film that. Ooh. Oh, this is so heavy, actually. This is the Tati Beauty Textures Neutrals Volume 1 palette. I hope she comes out with more. I hope this isn't like the last time. Like, oh, can you see those shimmer shades? These ones are like such an... Oh, she's cool. I love Tati. She's like one of my favorite YouTubers. It's hard to catch in the light. Anyway, Texture Neutrals Volume 1. I bought it. It is a bit expensive, but holy crap, like a heavy palette. Good quality for sure. Let me just pull another. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is the OMG eyeshadow collection by Crown Brushes. It is mimicked pretty much exactly after the Jaclyn Hill palette. I want to keep this because I do love the color story and the eyeshadows work really well. Like these shimmers are really pretty. So I'm gonna keep it, and I like to be able to reference it because that is a palette that a lot of people have referenced, and instead of me going out and purchasing the Jaclyn Hill 1 palette, which do they even sell that anymore? I'm not sure. I pretty much have a dupe, and like I don't know, at that time were they labeled still? Like, because Crown Brushes did do work for them, right? All right. Rude Cosmetics. Okay. These eyeshadows, they're just all right. Like, they're okay. Like, I like them. They're all right. They're not my favorite to use ever. And I have two of them. This one is the Rude Cosmetics Fairy Tale. And then I have the Rude Awakening Pulp Fiction Edition. This one's actually kind of a cool color story. It's a very fall type color story. And the shimmers are really pretty, and like these mattes work really well. Like they're not bad. It's just when you start to layer some of these mattes, it's very hard to get a lot of pigment out of them. And that's the only like downside to these eyeshadows. And I think that Rude Cosmetics has actually come a lot further with their matte eyeshadows. I have some new palettes from them that I love. They've been so good. Still, like with the neons, I'll get to them. Where are those palettes? I'd really like to show those now. But yeah, I'll get to it. But I think that these are okay. Like, do I want to keep these? Huh. You know what? I'm gonna keep them. No judgment. Don't want to hear it. Okay. More Morphe. I see more Morphe in here. This is gonna be the 35B, which I don't know. Can you get this in the US? I thought there was a thing where you could only get this in Canada. I got this like a couple of years ago, and it is great, honestly. Like, I have used these mattes to create quite a few rainbow looks. If you want to create a rainbow look and you want to do it cheaply, like this is a really good option because they really do go like pretty rainbow, so that you can do, you know, yellow, orange, red, pinks, purples, greens. Like, do they have any color not missing? No, they're, yeah, like essentially you have every color of the rainbow, right? Anyway, I like this palette. I'm not giving this away. I am definitely keeping this. Okay, so now we've got, like, see, I have no rhyme or reason to any of these palettes on the floor. Like, these ones will have a bit of a rhyme. They'll all be high-end or they'll all be drugstore. This is just a mixture of what I've been using. So, ABH Norvina collection. This is the volume 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the volume 2. I love this. The blues work so well. Like, honestly, ooh, I put my finger in a pink. Ooh, this one I love. And look they don't even swatch that well. But I'm telling you, these work so, so well. Let's swatch this shimmer. I know it swatches good. Look at the duochrome in that. Oh, so pretty. But yeah, I am not giving this away. I love this. This is a really nice palette. I have pulled it out several times and it has worked well. I don't know. I think it got like kind of a bad rap. Okay. Take Me to Brazil from BH Cosmetics. Does this work? Can you make this work? Yes. Do I need this? Absolutely not. And I think I'm going to part ways with it. It's just, you know, it's a rainbow palette. The shimmers are very lackluster. The mattes work all right, actually. Like, they're not bad. But honestly, I'm just like, too many. So many, too many. It's all good. Ooh, I wish I used this more often. Okay, this is the Urban Decay. What was this called? I can't remember. This is one of their holiday palettes. Beauty with an Edge eyeshadow palette. Oh my gosh, they don't even put the name. Heavy Metals collection, I think is what it was called. These are so pretty. Like, swatch one. Which one? This one. Look at how pretty that is. I think it's still... I've had this for probably 2 years, I think. Oh, this is so nice though. No, I'm gonna keep this. I think this should be fine. It was stored in a cool, dry place. I'd like to know what year this was from though. Was this 2 years ago? Somebody tell me in the comments. Now the packaging is stupid, but the eyeshadows were great. And see, like, if you try to figure it out, it works just fine. My hand is going to be covered in swatches, and I'm trying to itch my face. All right. This is clearly old. This is the Best Year Ever 2018, which means 19, 20. It's about 2 years old. I have used this, okay? I have used this. And I think the quality is still pretty darn good. I think I'm going to keep this. Like, look at that green. I always love that. And this one right here, actually, like someone, I hate neutrals. Well, I don't hate neutrals, but you know what I mean. I'm going to keep this. And this is one of the only, like, Too Faced palette, like, you know, like when they do the Christmas palettes and all that crap. This is the only one I've ever really liked. This is like, this was in my 2018 favorites, if I'm not mistaken, because it was so pretty. Oh, it was done well. Their bronzer, their Soleil bronzer, like, honestly, I'd like to just pop the shadows I want out. I hate doing that. No, we're just gonna keep it. I have space for it, so we're gonna keep it. All right, here comes a somewhat controversial one. This is the Makeup Revolution and the Emily Edit. I personally ordered for the first time off Makeup Revolution's site just to get this, and it's an okay palette, honestly. Like, it's pretty. The way Emily Noel does her makeup, this is exactly what I expected from this palette. So, you know, I don't know. Take what you will out of it. The eyeshadows are totally fine from what I can see. Like, take a look. There's a couple of them that have had a little bit of hard pan, but that's just hard pan from me, you know, getting them wet, yada, yada, yada. Anyway. Oh, it did break on me though. That was something, it happened like really soon too. But, you know, whatever. I don't know. I never know what to say because I like the palette. I still stand by that it was a nice palette. I created some nice looks with it. I actually should pull this out and, you know, use it again. All right, let's see. So, BH Cosmetics. This is Modern Neutrals palette. This is actually really pretty, but like, I seriously do not need this anymore. You know what? I'm going to give this one away. I've had this for at least 2 years now. And although it looks fine and everything, I do not need this anymore. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many colors in there and some of them are so much alike. So we're just gonna say goodbye to that. All right. Oh, come here. Okay, we have, and that is my floor, obviously, we have the Game of Thrones palette by Urban Decay. Let's just open this, like, because I'm never going to be able to, like, I have to be able to show it. See, they have, like, the chair. Then you take this and you pull it out. Push that away, and there is your palette. Honestly, the shades they chose, there are a few shades that I really love in this palette, but like only having like 3 mattes just threw me the frick off. Like, it just threw me off. I don't understand why there's only 3 mattes. And like the shimmers are pretty. Like this one here is always my favorite. Ooh, it's so Winterfell. It's really, really flaky, but when you put that on the lid with a little bit of setting spray, it is, oh, it's stunning. And then you have like a kind of duochrome kind of blue shade. They picked some really pretty shades like for the shimmers, but I just don't understand why they only picked like 3 mattes. Maybe they were expecting people to like kind of use some of the shimmers as your matte. I don't know. I need to pull this out again and just go out of the box with it. But yes, either way, that is the Game of Thrones palette. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna throw these up here. James Charles X Morphe. Everyone knows what this looks like. Ta-da! Barely fits in frame. You know, the shimmers aren't that great. Like, they're okay. They're just alright. Ooh, this one's actually really pretty. But it's like hard to pick up. Let me scratch it. Ooh, see, if you scratched it and then did it, you would get a lot of pigment. Anyway, the mattes work all right. I don't mind it. Ooh, this one is calling my name right now. I didn't use it a whole ton after all like the drama. I wanted it because I saw it on Sephora and it was the very first like Morphe thing that they were introducing. And I was like, I need to get this. Everybody is gonna have this palette. And honestly, like it got hype, but I just don't see a whole lot of people using it anymore for some reason. I don't know. I'm keeping it for sure, but regardless. Okay, this is my ColourPop Fiasco palette. These are every ColourPop eyeshadow I own, I think. Yeah, pretty much. No, it is. I think there's maybe one palette that I did not put in here, but this is all the palettes I had. I can't even remember all the palettes that I had anymore, but I'm pretty sure that I wrote down the names. Did I write down names? Let's see. Ooh, some of them I did not. I know I have the one from Sephora in here. Oh, I did put names on some of them. I was proactive a bit. But regardless, these are all minty. So I did sort of put names on them. These are all my ColourPop palettes that I depotted and put into a different palette. I have a couple Makeup Forever. Ooh, some of these are so pretty. Like, honestly, I love doing this because sometimes you just don't have the... Oh, God, look how pretty that one is. I wonder if I put a name on that one. That one is really pretty. That one is... There is a name on it. Lucid. You know what? I need to use this more because there are some shades in here that are just like calling my name, like this green. Ooh, that was so soft. Anyway, there's like their green palette is in there, like the minty palette. There's the one from Sephora with all the shimmers, which some of their shimmers were really pretty. Someone tell me why ColourPop didn't stay in Sephora. Like, somebody let me know. Okay, OTZ palette. This one I got from Showcase. This is literally pretty much the, let me see. Where did I put that palette? So, when you put these, oh my gosh, that's perfect. When you put these two palettes side by side, they are pretty much identical. You could go shade for shade. Like, let's go orange with, wow, this orange is a little bit deeper. Let's go this orange maybe. Okay, regardless, you know what I mean. They're very much alike. So I'm gonna keep the Morphe, the 3502? Yeah. I'm going to keep the 3502 and I am going to get rid of the OTZ palette, which is really just a dupe for it, honestly. Okay. let's see here. Got some more palettes. We have Violet Voss. This is her hashtag palette. This is the first Violet Voss palette I ever purchased. I really like her eyeshadows. Like, this isn't a palette that I use all the time, but like, honestly, I'm gonna keep it anyway. Her shimmers are beautiful. Like, they're beautiful. Ooh, I love the way they feel. They're amazing. I'm very much in love with their shimmers. But yeah, anyways, keeping Twilight by Faux Couleur. This is a really cool palette, and I hope, no, it has not. That's awesome. Okay, so these shimmers are like literally like a ColourPop Super Shock Shadow kind of shimmers. Like, as you can see, like pushing into them, they have like a bouncy texture to them, but they are so impactful, like so pretty. And the mattes work pretty well as well, but like I keep it for the shimmers, honestly, because they're so pretty. And literally I will just like throw a few of these mattes on the crease and then plaster a shimmer all the way up to the top of my crease because they're so pretty. Anyway, gonna keep this one. Love it. Listen to the train, guys. Yeah, that is definitely bound to happen. Anyway, so Essence eyeshadows. This is The Future Is Me Essence. I really liked this shimmer shade here. It's not awesome. Their eyeshadows are not that great, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna give this away, and I think I'm probably gonna end up, yeah, I'm gonna give these both away. They're pretty and everything, and the highlighters are actually really pretty, but I just don't have room in my collection for these because I'm not gonna use them. Like, they're just okay. They're just all right. Like, and there's dud shades in pretty much both of these palettes. Like, there are shades that I'm like, no, I'm never gonna use that. So yeah, I'm gonna give these away. Those are not that old, but I just no. Not gonna keep them. All right, it looks like I've got some more Violet Voss here. This one I talked about in my rainbow palette collection video. This is the Violet Voss the Rainbow Eyeshadow Palette, and it looks like this. And again, it's all shimmers except for that black Eclipse is kind of like a matte with glitter in it. So yeah, and they're so pretty. Like, honestly, super pretty shimmers, really pigmented, really high shine foil. You know, if you're looking for that like really glam look, they're beautiful. They're very nice. They're not a subtle eyeshadow, that is for darn sure. Flamingo palette. Okay, this is again Violet Voss, and you know, like, I think this is actually one of their more subtle palettes that they've ever done, and the shimmers are really pretty in this as well, but like the mattes are subtle. So they're pigmented, but they're only going to take you so far. And then the only color they really give you is like Sunnies, which is a pure black, and Beach Ball, which is a, like, you know, you can use it with the shade Oceanfront or Lemonade, but like, I don't know. It was just, it's a very odd kind of going to get out of your comfort zone type of palette. I still like it and I'm still keeping it, but I don't know. I just, sometimes I'm like looking for a look to do and I'm like, what do I do with that black? Like, what is that black in there for? All right, next. Okay, so this one is the Radioactive by Melt Cosmetics. This is beautiful. Like, these are so pretty. It's clearly like an accent palette unless you're trying to do like sort of a rainbow look, but so pretty. And the way they put like shimmer in, like, this is a kind of shimmery palette. I don't know if I'll be able to capture that. There's some shimmer in every single one of these shades, but when you blend them out onto the eye, it actually works and it looks really pretty. Very neon, you know, very light. I think they did a great job with this. Zulu by Juvia's Place. Like literally every single person and their mother has seen this palette. Beautiful. My favorite shade is probably this pink one. Their mattes and their shimmers are really pretty, and I actually don't have a lot of problems blending this palette. This is probably one of my favorites, actually. I think this would be probably my favorite. The next one is the Freak by Juvia's Place. I have got like no use out of this at all. It's really pretty. This one right here, Kofi, looks like it would be absolutely stunning. But I have gotten like no use out of this, and I really need to pull that out. I need to start I need to stop buying eyeshadows and start using my eyeshadows, doing some videos on like only using Juvia's Place eyeshadows for a whole week. Like, who would want to see that? Please let me know. Okay, I'm just reaching for more palettes. This looks like it's going to be more like drugstore palettes and whatnot. So I've got a bunch of hard candy palettes, and I'm going to put all these palettes out here. Okay, so this one, I think I really kind of want to keep this. This is only sentimental. I think this is pretty much one of the very first like eyeshadows I really dove into and just like used a ton of, and like really got to know what it was like to blend eyeshadows. And I got it off eBay. Literally, those were my first experiences with makeup, was buying it from eBay. Oh, do I keep this? Like, the back is so janked. Ugh. You know what? I'm gonna keep it. This is a sentimental piece. Do not shame me. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3 hard candy palettes, and I think I probably have more somewhere, but let's take a peruse here. Okay, I want to keep this one. This one is the Look Pro eyeshadow palette. That's all I can really tell you, and it's kind of looks like the Huda palettes. I never know exactly. I feel like sometimes they're trying to dupe them, but these eyeshadows actually work really well. The mattes actually work pretty well. They're really good for the the drugstore actually. So I'm gonna keep that one. Question is, do I keep this like? I'm gonna keep this one as well. This is the Matte Eyeshadow Pro Palette. And then I have this one. This is the Earthy Vixen Pro Palette. I think this is the one I'm going to actually give away. I just don't need this palette. I don't need the shades. They're not like, this isn't super inspiring to me to pull out. And since I have a couple other hard candy palettes that I actually love, I think that I will just skip out on, you know, that one and give it to someone who might actually be able to use it. Okay, this one I'm definitely keeping. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Eyeshadows. These work really nicely, and I really like that I can recommend some like eyeshadows from Physicians Formula, because some of their eyeshadows are absolutely terrible. All right, Eye Magic. Ooh, these are glitters. I really kind of want to keep this, but I feel like I've had this for quite some time. Do I keep this? Like, the glitters seem good. I don't know. I really think I'm going to keep this. Like, does it smell? It doesn't smell or anything. I'm going to research this because the glitters are actually really pretty in this and they work really well. Eye Magic, it's kind of like an eBay brand, and that's how I know that I've had this for a little while, and that's why I'm a little bit hesitant. It says 6 months. You know what? No, we're going to not take a chance, and we are actually going to toss this away. Goodbye. All right, Coastal Scents. These eyeshadows are not all that amazing. They're okay. They're just all right. Like, as you can see, like I kind of got hard pan on one of them. These are pretty old. I think I'm probably going to end up throwing these away. I bought these like literally when I was first starting out, and it's probably not good to keep them that long. I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep the actual case itself, but not a whole lot of eyeshadows are going to fit in this. Now, you know what? I'm actually just going to get rid of this. It's just really old. I really do want some more Coastal Scent stuff though. All right, we're almost done with a lot of the stuff that's on the floor. I'm getting so excited. So the next one I have is the Metal Matte Palette, and clearly they are not coming out with the other side, which I wish they would have, because I was really looking forward to that. But yeah, I bought the first side regardless, and I really like this. It's very pretty. The eyeshadows are super, super pigmented. The mattes work really well, although it's kind of weird having this very yellow matte here. I don't know what, like, I'd like to know, like, what was the endeavor with that? Anyway, I like this. This Raw Power is really pretty. Thunderstruck's in here, which is like a really iconic shade. And of course, it says metal. And it says matte, which is cool. I wanted a piece of it because I wasn't really a part of that culture when that palette came out. So when she brought that out, I was like, oh my god, I need this. Ooh, an eyeshadow palette from the drugstore that I really like. This is the Nudes of New York from Maybelline. These shimmers work gorgeous, and the mattes are really nice. They build on it themselves. Like, oh gosh, this is a nice palette, and I haven't used a couple shades. You can tell I haven't used this shade either. But like, I used these ones, and I used these pinkies down here, and they were amazing. And then I used this one day, and it was really pretty, so I'm assuming like the whole palette's like really good. But yeah, a palette I have. Makeup Revolution and Tammy. I don't love these mattes. I don't love these mattes. The shimmers are nice, but like the mattes are hard. I think I'm going to keep this for now. All right, this is interesting. Essence eyeshadow palettes. You know what I'm like with eyeshadow palettes. I love eyeshadow palettes. These are what these look like. And I'm looking and I'm like, well, there are some shades that are really pretty. But like, honestly, do I need either of these? Like, because they're not amazing. Like, they're not the greatest quality ever. Some of the shimmers are really pretty, but the mattes are kind of lackluster, and the shades are kind of just like meh. Like, this creates very basic everyday looks, and even the darker shades aren't that dark. So I have pretty much said I Flirt Party look is going, and then the Yes I Can natural look eyeshadow palette is going. Sorry guys, it looks like you're gonna have to stare at my feet a little bit, just because my feet hurt from all of this palette looking, but pay attention to my palette. Goodness gracious. Becca, oh, what is this one called? Pearl Glow Shimmering Eye Palette. Honestly, I heard so many like people did not like this, but I literally would have, like, I bought this whole palette because look at this, look at like, it's hard to tell on my totally dirty finger. They're like duochromes. There's a duochrome blue and a duochrome pink, and oh my gosh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. And I haven't had a lot of problems with this palette. Like, yeah, it's not amazing. Ooh, that one's like really chunky. The two looks that I did, I really loved. So anyway, I don't know. I'm happy that I have it. I like it. I think the concept too with like the pearls is really pretty as well. I think they should have done it with all of the eyeshadows instead of just the ones in the middle, but you know, that's just neither here nor there. Next one is Brett Renoir X Wet n Wild. I think this is like one of the first like Wet n Wild palettes, like actual palettes, like cardboard palettes they've ever done, is it not? I am not giving this away. This is really pretty. Their eyeshadow quality hasn't really changed from this to their plastic palettes, so yeah. I like it though. I like it. I think it's pretty. I think the shimmers work really nice. I think the mattes work even better. Yeah, we're keeping this one. I've got like eyeshadow dust on everything. Okay, then we have the 420 palette by Melt. And it looks like this, and I've used this probably a total of 10 times. I'm definitely keeping it. I love the color story of this palette. They're like, again, I've always said this about Melt, the way they put their eyeshadows together is why I buy their palettes, because they like inspire you to create these really like interesting looks with these super interesting hues of different colors. So they don't just give you like a primary green or a primary yellow. They tweak that color, they make it interesting, they make it deep, they make it depth. Oh, good. So good. I love Melt Cosmetics. I really do. I think they're really great. Anyways, this is my crush bagosh of all my multi-chrome and, you know, duochrome pigments that I have bought from indie brands. I have like Divina Cosmetics all down here, and then I have Dawn Eyes Cosmetics, and then I have Cleona Cosmetics over here in the square pans. I have yet to do a video on this. I also have some of those duochrome flakies that I bought from Shine by ST Cosmetics as well. They're in little pots like this, but these are really beautiful. Like, I've already wanted to buy some more eyeshadows from Divina. These shadows are something special, and you know, you do kind of have to take care of them because they can be a little bit breakable. You know, I have broken, this one is the one I broke actually. Oh, look how pretty that is. It's so hard to show you the depth of some of these shades, but anyway, I will do a video. Let me know, like this video, if you are interested in seeing a whole multi-chrome experience, because I've been experiencing from a few different brands. This is a brand new thing to me. This is the Mercury Retrograde. I've done a couple eyeshadow looks. I put one on my Instagram like not long ago using the peach and the turquoise. So pretty. Like, her palettes, she tries to be unique with her shades, and I really enjoy that. And I did do a look that I was like, oh my god, this did not work out for me, where I was trying to blend, oh, I can't remember, was it this palette? I think it was. I was trying to put Hot Mess like as the inner corner and outer corner, and then I took Supernova and I wet it on my finger. And then I guess it kind of caught a little bit of Hot Mess. Anyway, doesn't matter. Still really pretty palette. I got it on sale at Sephora. I did not pay like the 70 some dollars for it. Another palette, Wet n Wild. So this is the Wet n Wild, the Pride Metallic palette. Every palette they come out with, my like in my drugstore, I buy it. No matter what, I always buy it. This one is really pretty. It has no mattes. It's an all metallic palette. How many times am I going to say that? Metallic palette, metallic palette. And like some of them are really, 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 really pretty, and then others are kind of a more of a shimmer. This one I tried to use on the crease, and it got like hard pan pretty quickly on me. If you can see, can you see that hard panning right there? I don't know. I tried, but I failed. But either way, I think that some of these shades are really, really pretty, and I am keeping this one. I'm not quite sure where the other one is, but this is the Rude Cosmetics, the Roaring 20s Neons. I love these palettes. They have 3 of them that are in this Roaring 20s collection. This one is so pretty. Most of the mattes work amazing. Sometimes I've had like issues layering mattes on top of each other, but other than that, like, so beautiful. The quality is great. The shimmers are beautiful. They're unique. There are some really poppy, unique shimmers in these palettes, and I like it a lot. And they were pretty cheap. I think they were $22, $24. Now, something that was $25. This is the Pacifica Hemp Infused Eyeshadow Palette. I've been using this a little bit. You do get a double-sided brush with it. I don't know. It's just okay. I haven't used it enough to like deduce a complete... This is worldly. It's just all right. I'm going to play with it a little bit more. But I seriously, $25, I don't think this was really worth it. I really don't. Now this is something that I kind of bought on a whim. This is the Milani X Sugar and Spice, Salt and Pepper, sorry. This was not my generation, I'm sorry. This was the Milani Salt and Pepper Eyeshadow and Highlighting Palette. They had 2. I just grabbed this one because it had really pretty shimmers in it. And I haven't really got around to... Oh, that is beautiful though. See, that's why I grabbed this. Even the highlight is really pretty. This like black based silver is so pretty. I need to use this. Like some of these I probably wouldn't use. That you could probably use as a matte. They always throw in a blue. Yeah, I want to use this a little bit more, so I'm going to keep this. But yes, I also have that. It still has the special sticker on it because I was like, oh, it's on sale? Like what? All right, guys. Well, that was all of my palettes in my like upper area. So, oh shoot, no, it wasn't. Hold, please hold. There we go. Okay, we got a couple more. And there is that Rude Cosmetics palette. We're just going to slip this out. This is the 20s Reckless one. So pretty. If you love jewel tones, this could be so nice for you. Now, I will say, this shade Doll, as much as it's like a squishy, kind of cool texture, it does crease on me, but it is so pretty. And there's like this Moonshine shade, which is like a duochrome pinky green. Oh, I love this. These colors right here really drew me in. The like bright orange and then like the pinky, what is it? Like, what is it called? Not mahogany. Not mauve either. Either way, doesn't matter. Beautiful palette, love it. I'm having like a brain fart moment. Okay. This is a bit of a regret, honestly. Okay. The story behind this, though, is funny. So, Urban Decay, I wanted to do the Urban Decay Ultraviolet review. I did do it on my channel, but they sent me 2 of them by mistake. So I sent one to a friend, and she really loves hers, and I'm not crazy about mine. It's just okay, honestly. Like, they put too many shimmers in. They, you know, kind of... the shimmers they did put in, some of them I'm just like, why? And then other ones, I don't know. I don't know if I like Urban Decay's formula anymore, to be perfectly honest. Maybe that is the reasoning behind it. But yes, this is the Ultraviolet. And they do have this pretty shade in here that is actually in the Kristen Leanne palette as well, which I have. So, I don't know. Not my favorite choice. Smoke Session by Melt Cosmetics. Love these shimmers. Like, some of these are like death. Oh, I just ruined the... Never thought of that. Super, super pretty. Everybody says that they've got issues with Melt Cosmetics formula. I've never had any issues with it, but I don't know. That's just me. See, it looks just the exact same as you know. I don't know. There's only 2 mattes in this palette, but I can forgive that because it's so freaking pretty. Like, oh my gosh. And these mattes work really cool, but you're gonna make some dark looks. Now, here's a palette that has somewhat of a, oh my gosh, actually there's 3 palettes here that have somewhat of the same color story. So this one is the e.l.f. Cosmetics Earth and Oceans palette. And then we have the Nomad by Juvia's Place right here. It's so similar, like we're talking a lot of the similarities here. Anyway, so this one obviously keeping, I haven't played with this one all that much, but it is so pretty. They do some of those like mattes with glitter in them in this palette. And then this one, now I have done a couple looks that I was not all that enthralled with. Some of these shimmers are very flaky, but I do want to keep this because I think they're getting better and better with their eyeshadow quality. And of course I am definitely keeping the Smoke Session palette. Okay, now we are finally done with the ones on the floor, and I'm going to have to rearrange myself because I have to actually be able to open these drawers over in this direction. So yeah. Okay, we are back. A little bit of a different angle. I think this is actually better. Oh my gosh. It's so difficult to get like, you know, a perfect angle and make sure the palettes look amazing. Blah, 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 all that good stuff. I hope that this is good. Anyway, we're on to the drawers. So we have 3 drawers of palettes. The top one is all like smaller, drugstore palettes. Then we have like all of my kind of more high-end palettes, and then we are finished. So let's get into this. We have the Kat Von D 20th anniversary palette. Looks like this. You can no longer get this. This was just okay. Like, this is not one of my favorite Kat Von D palettes at all. It was just okay. I think that like this was right as the brand was kind of just going through the most. I still want to keep it. The artwork is so pretty, and I do love like the palette itself. The eyeshadows work really nicely, but there was like the shimmers are kind of lackluster. The mattes are all right. It's just okay. It's just it's not my favorite Kat Von D palette. Next, I have 2 smaller palettes, and they are from Too Faced. I'm trying to look around for my Too Faced pile. I love the formula of these shimmer shades right here. They're in both of these palettes. The shimmer shade is this taupey shade. I wonder, like, where is this? Look at that. Where is this formula in any of their other palettes that I've ever seen? So first you have the Pineapple palette. This is their Sparkling Pineapple eyeshadow palette. And then I have this one I like the best. This is like, this is like a perfect eyeshadow palette for me. I love this palette so much. And these matte shades work really nicely as well. But like the pièce de résistance is this shade right here. It's just, it's so pretty. It's very similar to a shade I have from Kat Von D. It's in like a little pot, but it is so pretty. So yeah. Then I have, and I remember I was looking for this not long ago. It was stuck right in this drawer here. Anyway, this is the Kat Von D Alchemy palette. I think this is a great inner corner palette. You're not really going to be able to see the shimmer, but everybody's seen this palette. It's so cute. It's so pretty. I'm keeping this palette for sure. I have another Too Faced palette. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. The only reason I have this palette is because it was so iconic and everyone loved it so much. I'm going to keep it because the mattes work really well, and I do have to keep some neutral palettes. So yes, I'm going to keep this one, but I do not reach for it a whole ton. Ooh. Oh, okay. The Too Faced 20th Anniversary Palette. I should give this away, honestly, because I know I am very rarely going to use this palette. I'm not the big, I think all the shimmers on the top here are just, like, they're just okay. And I wish, like, I'm not big on this whole palette. So, yeah. Ooh, go away, fly. It's like some of the shades are pretty and they're really nice, but I don't know. I just didn't vibe with this palette. They put too many shimmers in it. They didn't put as many mattes in it. Some of the shimmers are really pretty. Like you can see, I went ham on Glitter Donut. I really love that shade, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it, but not my favorite palette. Not in a million years my favorite palette. Ooh. Next, I have my Kat Von D palette. This has several of her, I think 2 of her palettes in one. The Saint and Sinner, and ooh, what other one? There was another one. Now I can't remember. I'll have to go back into the video that I filmed. I did film a whole video of me depotting these eyeshadows. They're not that hard to depot. A couple of the mattes I was a little bit jankety with, as you can see, but they still work exactly the same. I don't know. I'm gonna keep this, but I definitely don't use this very often. I just don't use the eyeshadows anymore. It's not that they're bad, it's just that I just don't. That's a really pretty eyeshadow right there. And like, look, that just shows how many light shades, right? And then all of these shades over here are so alike. I'm gonna keep it, but not something I'm like super reaching for anymore. Ooh, this one is so pretty. The Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Oh, this one's so pretty. I love, oh, Turkish Delight is just my life. That is so pretty. So yes, this is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. It has a pressed glitter in it, which I don't really like at all. The mattes are really pretty. I love her formula. Her formula is really nice. I like hers. Throw that over there. Okay, we've got a couple Lime Crime palettes. These are the only products I have from Lime Crime, if I'm not mistaken. I love these palettes. The color stories of their palettes are so interesting. This one is the XL2. I'm bad with Roman numerals, guys. And there's a lot of shimmers in this palette. It's not a lot of mattes, but I can make that work. They're very cohesive mattes, and I can throw any of these shimmers in with them really easily. I don't know. Oh, this one, Obscure. So pretty. I don't know. I really like these palettes. These palettes are really nice, and every time I open them, I'm like, oh, so pretty. The Venus XL, which again, like, come on, this is my fantasy. This color right here, Passion, and Flora. Oh gosh, so pretty. Love these palettes. I think that they're very good quality. Okay, these are the 2 Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes that are not in my big set. This is the Modern Renaissance. I swore I actually thought I put it in there, but I did not, and it's probably because this is probably the most popular Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. The shadows work really nice. Everyone knows this palette. I'm definitely keeping it. This one is the Jackie Aina palette. This is so beautiful. The shimmers in here are fantastic. They're so impactful. Like Salmon, it's totally amazing. Like, they're really beautiful, and I love the everything about this palette is just like mwah, chef's kiss. I did not depot it because I really like Jackie Aina. I watch her and I feel, I don't know, not even gonna say that. Either way, I really like Jackie Aina. So yeah, I kept that one the way it was on purpose. On purpose. Okay, so it looks like we've got some BH Cosmetics. I've got some Tarte, Go To Beauty. Ooh, these are nostalgia palettes. I'll just get these out of the way. I have had these for probably like 8 or 9 years. These are the Technique Electric Beauty palettes. This is like my first thought into like eyeshadows. This was like the first time I ever really used colorful eyeshadows. Like, and as you can see, like the pan I hit on that, I always love those shades. But yeah, so, you know, I keep this as a reminder that, you know, you can do like you can do anything you want. You just got to find the way to do it your way, I guess. I'm keeping that. Anyway, what else do we have in here? More BH Cosmetics. Huda Beauty. Physicians Formula. And that is the end of the drawer. Holy crap, that's awesome. Okay, let's go through these then. So BH Weekend Festival palette. I am keeping this palette. I really like this palette. It was really good. Like, this was one of my favorites. Like a year ago, 2 years ago when this came out, one of my favorite palettes. BH Cosmetics has a pile right there. Okay, Royal Affair. This was actually a winner's purchase. Am I keeping this? I'm never gonna use this. This is what it looks like. You know what? This is like a really similar color story to the Fairy Tale palette. I'd like to compare them, honestly. You know what? I'm gonna keep it. Oh gosh, Melissa, you're ridiculous. Okay, I do not have that many Tarte palettes, if I'm not mistaken. I think these are the only two. There might be another one, not quite sure. This is the Tarte Pro Remix. Matt actually bought this one for Christmas when it came out. It was one of their Christmas palettes. Still like it. It's a very high shimmer palette. I should use this a little bit more. Yes, it's a cute palette. I don't know if it will go through too many more declutters, but I don't have a lot of Tarte eyeshadows, so I'm going to definitely keep this one. And this one is like people's ride or die kind of deal. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Face Shaping Palette. Not only do you get bronzers, but you also get eyeshadows. These blend so well. If you do not want any shimmer on your eyes, if you want to do a completely basic matte look every day, this is what you need. This is what you want. I'm pretty sure they even still sell that. I'm going to keep it because they're really good quality. This is a drugstore version of the Nudes palette, actually. I have a couple dupes for this palette right here, and this is definitely one of them. This is the Physicians Formula Rose All Day Eyeshadow Banquet. And in the beginning, like, I don't know if you can see it, like right here, they literally have those little speckles they try to mimic. Now, this is an okay palette. Like, this is all right. The mattes blend, they are a little powdery, but that is because they blend quite well. The shimmers are nice. They're all right. I still prefer the Nudes by Huda Beauty, but still, for the drugstore, it was all right. Physicians Formula. I don't think I have a spot for them yet. Let's throw them over there. I'm actually putting them all in groups to see how I'm going to store them, because I would like to store my palettes, like, you know, cohesively by brand. Ew, get out of here, fly. Anyway, this is the Huda Beauty Nudes palette. This is the palette that I did a like literal, like they did so many dupes of this palette. It is beyond crazy. I really think that she did it so well. Like she was the creator of this color story, and so many people like tried to duplicate it. Oh, I just kind of messed up that concealer. See, it's still usable though. That's so crazy. Like, it's definitely been a year since I've had this palette. I need to pull this out more. This is such a pretty palette. I was not going to get it, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm getting this. I'm so happy I did. Her pressed glitters are actually better in this palette than they were in the Desert Dusk palette, in my opinion. The binders are different. I don't know. I like them better. Go To Beauty. You know what? I'm getting rid of this. This is a dupe for a Too Faced palette. This is Danielle Bregoli's kind of brand. I'm just going to get rid of this. I don't need this. The shimmers are pretty and everything. It's not the, oh, look at how pretty they are. See, like, they're really pretty and everything. So I think someone could actually get some use out of them. So yeah, I'm going to give that away. Okay, so next drawer. I'm just going to start throwing out some palettes here. Okay, so let's just start from the top, okay? We've got Copycat Beauty, and I'm gonna rest my hand here. All right, this is their Autumn palette. These were mimicked after the little Huda Beauty mini palettes when she first came out with them. These shadows, there's nothing really wrong with them. It's just, I don't really, like, I have so many. I'm gonna actually end up giving this away. It's fine. The quality is fine. It's just not like, I don't need it in my collection anymore. It looks like I have another Lime Crime palette. This is the Lime Crime Venus palette. I am gonna keep this just because these shades are so pretty. I really like this a lot. I'm pretty sure I got this from Showcase, not from Winners, which kind of like throws me a little bit, but I'm keeping it nonetheless. Here I have the Strawberry Dream Lunar Beauty palette. This is so pretty. Like, his formula is so pretty. This is for the adventurous eyeshadow wear. This blue diamond shade, although it is so flaky, I don't even want to touch it because it will flake. If you get it with some setting spray, oh, it is so beautiful. And his mattes work really great as well. It is a nice palette. I like it a lot. I bit myself because I didn't get his other palette, and I felt like I probably should have. I don't know where I'm going to put that. There we go. Another Physicians Formula palette. This is the Physicians Formula, the Gold Vault. This is actually really pretty. There are some really pretty shimmer shadows in here, but this is a totally supplemental palette. It is very difficult to do a full look with just these eyeshadows. Even these like not so shimmery shades over here do not make very good mattes. So I definitely, like, it's supplemental, but I want to keep it because I did like just get it and I've done some pretty looks with it. Like some of these shades you can see right here, I've used that shade a lot. It's really flaky, but it's so pretty. Ooh, okay, now where did I put that other Physicians Formula palette? There it is. All right, I see another one from BH Cosmetics right here. We'll just get this one out of the way. This is the BH Cosmetics and Sylvia Gunn. I love the texture of it. I got this from Winners and I have barely used this, to be perfectly honest. I think I used it one time and it was pretty, and yeah, I haven't touched it since. I really actually like Sylvia Gunn. I think she is a very kind of real chick. I don't know. I don't know her personally or anything, and I don't like watch her religiously or watch any drama about her. I know like kind of about her boyfriend and whatnot. That's like the extent. I don't get into like craziness, but I don't know. It was all right when I tried it. I need to try it more. I'm gonna keep it. I kind of just wanted to like support her. I wish I had kind of bought it off the site though. I don't know. How do people do that? Do they, when they sell in bulk to like Winners and whatnot, like how does that work? I don't know. Anyway, my one and only Pat McGrath Labs palette, and it is the Mothership Subversive La Vie en Rose palette right here. Looks like that. These shadows are pretty. Like, I don't know, I haven't used them a whole ton. This shade is really beautiful, and like this one isn't Look at how like unique that is. Very, very pigmented shadows. The matte worked really pretty, but there's only one matte in the palette. Like I guess you could sort of call the pink a matte, but I literally just like swatched each shade. But yeah, I don't know. I like it, but I don't get a lot of use out of it. I'm gonna keep it though, of course, because it's a freaking Pat McGrath palette. Oh, the nails are not gonna allow me to do this. Oh, I still can't catch it. Catch it. Oh, no. Oh my God, if only, you can see the struggle. Okay, pulling it, wrapping it, wrapping. Ta-da! Okay, this is the only Pat McGrath palette I have, so that can go over there. Okay, this is going in the trash. This is really old, and again, this I was kind of keeping like as a sentimental value. This is a Quo palette. Quo has completely redone their brand now, so they're not even like you can't get this. They don't sell this. They don't make this formula anymore, or maybe they do. I'm not sure. It was a double palette that you could literally like essentially swing out like this. And I thought that was so cool. I used these a ton when I was first getting into eyeshadows, and yeah, like we're gonna throw it out, but I loved it. I loved it. It was awesome. Oh, that hurt my feelings. Okay, Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions. I love this as well. I think the mattes she makes are really, 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 really pretty. Let's just get a good look there. I have two more that I'm just going to pull over here because I'm going to put them over there. And the neons, the shimmers are amazing. They're so, so, so pretty. I've done reviews on all of these, so check that out. I love her little mini palettes. They're so cute and adorable, and I find the quality is really nice. Some of them are a little more monochromatic than you may want, so be aware of that. But other than that, you got it. All right. Next, we have the little quads from Kat Von D. I love the quality of these mattes, so I'm definitely keeping these. This one is the Smoke Quad, and then my favorite one for sure is definitely this one, which is the Plum Quad. So yeah, definitely keeping both of these. I really love her formula of eyeshadows a lot of the time. Sometimes her mattes don't work out as well. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wish my foot could be out of the camera. It almost is. Anyway, so a same thing as the Pat McGrath. This is the only Viseart eyeshadows I own, and this is the Petite Pro, Carnival? Petite Pro Soleil eyeshadow palette, and this is really cute. I like these eyeshadows. They're pretty nice actually. I don't know, they weren't like anything that I didn't expect them to be. I don't know. As for eyeshadows, Viseart is not my favorite brand based on just this palette and this palette alone. All right, NYX Off Tropic. Do I need this? Like, I don't love a lot of NYX eyeshadows. Like, I have the Ultimate Brights palette here, and I really just keep this because I know that it's a really popular palette. I'm not that big on it, to be honest. Like, I'm just not. And I'm wondering, like, do I keep these just to have them? Like, the same thing, the Off Tropic palette, it's actually not bad. I like the mattes in this palette. It's just that shimmer in the middle is toxic. I hate that gold shimmer. And the same thing with the NYX Ultimate Shadow. You know what? I'm going to keep these just because, you know, I want to and I have a choice. And, you know, I'll look around once I am done doing everything. 2, 3, let's just grab them all. 3 more Juvia's Place palettes, and these ones, honestly, I haven't used all that much. I feel bad. This one is the Festival palette. And you can see I have not used this like at all. I really need to use these palettes. These are the most, like the newest ones I have gotten. This one, it looks like I've used quite a bit. This is the Saharan. And again, I love Juvia's Place eyeshadows and the Masquerade. This one's the mini Masquerade palette. And I know I've used this quite a few times, although for some reason I always either go for the pink or the neutrals. I never go up to those blues, just because I never know like what kind of mattes to use to go with those blues. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Tell me if you know what I mean. All right. Gosh, I have so many Juvia's Place eyeshadows. Okay, another Too Faced eyeshadow palette. I think there's two of them. Yes, there is. This one is the Pretty Rich palette. This was in one of my Shop My Stashes. I do love the glitters in this still. I kind of hate what this palette, like, I don't know, what the brand kind of stood for at this time. I'm going to keep this palette, though, because it was so pretty, and I did pay a pretty penny for that. I love the packaging. I think that, like, it is really cute the way they made it into a jewelry box, and I don't know, I'm keeping it, and I'm sorry. Another Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. This is really pretty, although I don't always have the best time blending these mattes. Like, oh, still smells pretty too. So everyone knows this palette. This was a really good hit. Although it's not my favorite Too Faced palette, it's not a bad palette either. Moon Dust. Oh, definitely keeping this one. These shades are so pretty. I use this quite a bit actually. When I can remember to. Oh, keeping it. It's an iconic palette. I love it. I'm not giving it away. Another Urban Decay palette is the Naked Heat. Again, really nice. I love this palette. And see, I don't know why I did not like the Ultraviolet. This could be because this one had more mattes in it. I have no idea. But even the shimmers seem better. They seem prettier. I don't know. I love this. I'm keeping my Naked Heat palette. I would take the Naked Heat over the Ultraviolet, actually, to be honest. Another Violet Voss. This is the I Do Not Care palette. This is really pretty, honestly. I kind of scratched this with my nail kind of badly, but these mattes are really nice, and the shimmers are pretty. If you wanted like a little, you know, bite-sized palette, this is actually really nice. The quality is there. Violet Voss, where is you? There you are. Another Melt palette, probably one of my favorites to play with. This was the Melt Myrte palette. Like, look at this color story. It is so hard to not do a super dramatic look with this palette. So hard. Like, honestly, I think this color story, it's just so amazing, and it's inspiring. So when you pick this out, if you pick this up, if you want this, you are going to be doing some very interesting looks. Be prepared for that. Ooh, TZ Cosmetics. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to throw this away. This has been in my collection far too long. It has like stuff on it, like foundation. Although I did obviously use these glitters quite a bit, I just think this is way too old to be using on the eyes. Dominique Cosmetics. This is her Lemonade Craze palette. I did do a review on this so long ago. I was not the craziest person for this. A lot of these shimmers, they kind of were getting hard pan on me very quickly. The mattes worked really well. I liked them and everything. It's just I remember having a lot of trouble with these two, Cucumber and Peach. Pink Lemonade was really nice. Lemon Soda was not bad. But these two really were not that great. And this was actually pretty expensive, so that's why I was kind of like, what the heck. And then the last Urban Decay palette in the drawer, and then I just have all of my drugstore palettes. Like, you should see the floor beside me. It's insane. This is the Urban Decay X Kristen Leanne. This is definitely one of my favorite Urban Decay palettes. They did such a good job. I know there's a ton of shimmer, but I don't even care if I have to use an extra couple mattes from another palette. They are so pretty, and it's just, I love Kristen Leanne. She is such a freaking awesome YouTuber and an awesome person. her content's not for everybody. So let's put it that way. All right, let's dive into this drugstore drawer. Oh gosh, that sounds great. Oh, it looks like there's a couple little high-end things in here too. Okay, so I have all of these The Velvet singles from Essence, and I am going to give all of these away. I am never going to use these. Honestly, I'm going to give them all away. Someone can get some really good use out of these. I think I know who. So yeah, those are out of the way. I just saw them all sitting in there and I was like, no, I do not need all this. Again, another thing I'm actually going to get rid of, this is the Flock Party limited edition eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild. Although this is a pretty shade, it's sitting in my collection and I can't really show it. It was limited edition. Okay, something that is all staying are all of my Natasha Denona mini palettes. I think I have all of them except for one. This is the Star palette. This is the Gold palette. Then you have the Tropic palette, which was probably my least favorite out of all of them. And then you have the Sunset palette. And then you have the Lila palette. And yes, all of those are staying with me. I really like those little palettes. The only one I didn't really love was the Tropic palette because a couple of the shades just were not they were not my cup of tea, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, that was the only reason. This one I'm going to keep. This is the Marc Jacobs. This was a Christmas palette. This is the Icon Multi-Finish Eye Palette in Stiletto. Oh, still got this. I'm going to keep this. This was a winner's purchase. This is the only Marc Jacobs eyeshadows I have. Honestly, probably the only Marc Jacobs product I own, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to keep this. Two palettes that I am keeping because of nostalgia are these Focallure palettes. You know, they could probably still be used, but I'm just, no. I've had them for quite some time. The eyeshadow quality is not amazing. It was when I was little and first starting out on my channel, and this was actually at one point the most watched video on my channel, so it's kind of a little bit of a milestone for me. This I am going to throw away. This was amazing though. Like, this palette from Essence was one of their best eyeshadow palettes I've ever used. This was their Sunrise 6 eyeshadow color, harmonizing with each other, long-lasting, silky, and smooth textures with different effects ranging from matte to shimmer to metallic. There's no real matte shimmer or matte shadows in this. There's like this one, but it is not matte. But anyway, I used the hell out of this shadow because it is so pretty. Even now it's still pretty. Like, oh my gosh. But it's so old. I need to get rid of this. It needs to go. Okay, going to keep my Maybelline palettes. All of them, actually. I think this is all of them. The Matte Bar palette. The Soda Pop palette. And lastly, the Lemonade Craze palette. Keeping all of those. Make a little Maybelline palette pile. Okay, so these are both CoverGirl, and then if I'm not mistaken, yep. Okay, so, oh, CoverGirl, Wet n Wild. All right, we'll go through these first. These are all of my Wet n Wild little eyeshadow palettes. All these, they're Color Icon. Yes, Wet n Wild Color Icon 10 pan eyeshadow palettes, and I'm just gonna quickly go through them all because there's literally like 10 here. Probably not gonna get rid of any of them. I like Wet n Wild's eyeshadow formula. I think that in the drugstore, it's one of the best eyeshadow formulas on the market right now. e.l.f. has some good ones, you know, like there's good ones here, there, and everywhere, but I think that Wet n Wild consistently can do it. Anyway, let's go in because a few of these you're not going to be able to get anymore, and I think this is going to take a minute. All right, Coffin Break. This was one of their Halloween specials. In the Smoke, also one of their Halloween palettes. Then we have one they still sell, Rose in the Air. And it was kind of after Modern Renaissance. Then we have another Halloween one, Wizard in Training, kind of a purpley color. And the mattes work really nicely, although there isn't normally a whole ton of them. Comfort Zone, their like remastered version. Then we have Not a Basic Peach, which I have used a ton of. Then we have Cosmic Collision, another like limited edition one. VI Purple, another limited edition one. And then lastly, Nude Awakening, which is one you can still buy today. All right. And as I said, I am keeping all of these. These are all keeping Wet n Wild, keeping Wet n Wild. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty, people. I've got these CoverGirl palettes. And this one, which is the Katy Perry palette. Honestly, I could probably get rid of all of them and be totally fine. The eyeshadows are not my favorite. The formula is not my favorite. They're totally usable, but not my all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes at all. I'm thinking because it's a set, maybe I should keep it. And then the eyeshadows in the Katy Perry palette, they're not that bad. Some of them are really pretty. Some of them are just kind of duds. I'm going to put these aside, and while we are reorganizing and whatnot, I will make a final decision on those. Okay, we have Milani, and I know I have a few more Milani palettes. These ones too. Okay. Oh, and another Milani. I think I'm probably going to keep all of these. I think I want most of them. This one, I don't know. Tati really loved these Milani Everyday Eyes palettes. They're not my favorite, but they're not bad either. So I do want to keep this one because the shades in it are actually really pretty. The shimmers aren't amazing, but the mattes are really nice for drugstore. Drugstore cannot do mattes very well. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. I'm trying to look like, where did I put... I'm just going to put a Milani tile right there. And then I have one of their newer palettes. This is the Milani Gilded Gold palette. This is really nice. Like, this isn't bad. The mattes, they can be a little temperamental, but I kind of like, oh, every time I open it, I'm like, ooh, that shimmer's so pretty. I need to use this some more. But they're coming out with more and more eyeshadow palettes as time goes by. This is the Milani, this is their hyperpigmented eyeshadow palette. Ooh, which one is this? They don't say. Well, is it gold, gilded gold? No, that's gilded gold. I'm not sure exactly which one this is, but it's got like this design. Oh, Gilded Noir, there you go. And it looks like this. Again, some of these shimmers are so pretty. The mattes are shit. They're just absolutely kind of crap. But some of these shimmers are really, really nice. See, shimmers are so easy to do that you kind of let away with it. I don't know. Then I have these ones, which these mattes aren't that bad. These ones are Milani Soft and Sultry. And the shimmers are kind of more like muted, and the mattes really are amazing, honestly, in these palettes. This one is my favorite. This is the Pure Passion, because it's burgundy, of course, like duh. So yeah, I'm gonna keep those. I've got a couple little eyeshadows here. This is the NARS Himalaya eyeshadow. It is really pretty. You know what, I'm gonna keep this. I only have like one single eyeshadow. Giving this away. This is the LA Colors eyeshadow in Nude. It's just okay. I don't need this in my collection at all. Ugh, okay. NYX Perfect Filter. These eyeshadows, they're not bad, but I am never going to use this palette, so I'm actually going to get rid of this palette. This was just a kick in the teeth for me. I got this as a Christmas present, but this was actually $50. This is the NYX Metal Eyeshadow Palette, and although some of these shimmers are pretty, this was not freaking worth $50. I'm going to keep this in my collection just because I like a reminder that NYX actually went there. This little eyeshadow, I don't think I've ever used this. I think this was a dollar store kind of special thing. Let's just, we don't need that. All right, got some more e.l.f. palettes. So right here we have the Mad Format Summer Bronze palette. And I don't mind their eyeshadows, but I don't love their eyeshadows that are in this packaging. I like the other palette better. I don't know. I'm going to keep these for reference, and I really should. This one's really pretty. This one is the Holy Smokes. The color story for this one is a little more endearing than the Summer Bronze one. And then this one is the Nude Mood. This is a, oh no, this isn't. Did I give away the shimmer one? Maybe I did. So yeah, Nude Mood. Very nude. Gonna keep it just because it's nice to have, you know, a few neutral palettes for whatever occasion, but clearly not my favorite palettes to use. All right, this is one of the only Essence eyeshadows I have ever liked. One of the only formulas they've ever created, one of the only palettes that they've ever created that I created beautiful, intensely pretty looks from, and it is mimicked after the new Nudes from Huda Beauty. It's a complete dupe. I don't think you can get this. I think this was like a holiday thing. It was Essence from Santa with Love eyeshadow palette, and it opened up like a book, and then it had like the two pressed glitters. But these are so pretty. Like, their shimmers are absolutely stunning in this palette, and the mattes work really well. Not giving this palette away, not doing it. It's staying. The only Essence palette essentially that I actually liked. I honestly do not need this, but some of these colors are actually really pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this too. This is the Maybelline Urban Light Eye and Cheek palette. Some of these eyeshadows are really pretty. It's an all shimmer palette, but I want to keep it. I want to keep it. And last but not least, the ending of an eyeshadow palette declutter slash look at is the Hard Candy. This is their Blushful Nudes. Clearly, again, mimicked after the New Nudes palette by Huda Beauty. This is actually pretty good as well. I like the shimmers. They work really well. They're creamy. Obviously, the texture is not the same as Huda Beauty. The like marble effect is not the same as Huda, but they work really well. And like the glitters actually aren't too bad as well. The mattes work, you know, cohesively. I'm going to keep this palette. Where is, oh, it's all the way over there. Okay. Wow. This was insane, guys. This looks insane, like around me. Like, let's just pan out. This looks insane around me. Like, it's just so many palettes everywhere. I am going to have to clean this mess up, and I'm going to reorganize all of these palettes, and then I may do like a little tiny show of what it looks like afterwards, because a lot of these palettes are not going to fit in my drawers. They're gonna have to go up on a shelf up there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this though. I hope that it was like bright enough, and I hope it was cohesive enough to follow along. I tried to swatch as much as I could. I am covered in swatches. Like, look at this towel. Like, literally. Let's take a look here. Ready? Bam! Like, oh my god. Anyway, I hope you guys have a really wonderful day, night, evening, whatever it may be for you.